Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to this wonderful afternoon today. And I'd like to invite you all to the South India Business Week, Day 8 for Life Coaching panel. So, today's topic of discussion would be empowering personal and professional growth through life coaching. So today's panel members are, we have Dr. Vinod R R sir. Sir is the founder of VidyaMitra. We also have Vijay Ladha sir. Sir is a pro bono business mentor, entrepreneur, and also a chartered accountant. And we have our very own India's own millionaire mentor, Darshan Somaiya sir. So, sir, good afternoon, everyone. Now I have my first question to Vinod sir. So, sir, as the founder of VidyaMitra, how do you see the interaction between education and personal development, sir? And how can life coaching principles enhance this connection?
Yeah, first of all, very good afternoon to all respected panel members, and thank you, SIBW, for having this session. There are two parts to the same question. One, we have got academia, which is a very vibrant part of our economy. Plus, it's the backbone. And being in the academics for approximately 2 decades, I truly respect academics as the backbone. But what is happening is too many things are happening, and students are not able to concentrate. So all people are qualified in this generation. So I was there in the Ernst & Young interview last quarter. There are approximately 400 applications. All are ACC and chartered accountants, and that's a common denominator. Engineering is also the same. But I was very impressed with the resume. But the global director said, Vinod, all are good, but we want to get the best. And unfortunately, academia is not able to focus on that angle, which is personal development or personal coaching. In broad sense, life coaching. So they are unable to put across why they should be hired in a minute. And that is the reason I felt this integration is going to be a game changer. But hopefully, I think this is again a blessing in disguise. NEP is also suggesting the same. So skill-based education, more practical oriented learning, all academia are putting on paper there is practical orientation. The disadvantage is still there is a gap of 5 years. A person who joins academia in year 1, by the time he or she graduates, the industry requirements have changed, which means their intuition, their ability to understand.
Vinod sir, we can't hear you. I think there is a network issue there. Vinod sir? Yeah, I think sir is having some network issue and we lost him there. So let's move on to our next question. Maybe sir will join us again. Yeah. So my next question would be for Vijay sir. So, sir, how do you approach guiding individuals to achieving their personal and professional goals, sir?
I would presume the word approach is for approaching the issue and not approaching the individual, because I, being a pro bono mentor, I don't approach anyone. So it is approaching the issue once you face it. Okay, now me being a born Marwadi, a qualified chartered accountant, and an entrepreneur for 30 years, the language I know and understand is numbers, expressed in any other language which you talk about normally. So for me, it's all about numbers. So what I would always try doing when approaching an issue, which normally starts from a professional front, and then of course some personal issues do crop into it from here and there, would be understanding their aspirations, letting them dream maybe, but making them more real. All dreams don't get fulfilled in the same lifetime. So making their aspirations, their objectives, goals clearer, making them put smarter goals, which would mean that it would have to be goals which are measurable. They have to be in numbers. I want to do big business. I want to be this. I want to be that. No, somehow I don't understand those terms, because big is different, small is different, large is different. So trying to put it into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant terms, which is always numbers. Numbers is the best language, I guess, to move away any kind of a confusion from your mind. Then making them put a plan, whatever plan that could be, personal, professional, whatever they have. We should have both the things, a target and a timeline. Normally people do only one of them. They either do only target or they only do the timeline. If you put both of them together, then it becomes clearer as to, are you achieving both or are you achieving one, and if you're achieving one, which one are you achieving there. Requesting them to monitor it themselves, involve me into monitoring it when they want an accountability on a timeline, taking it further. Of course, the way the whole thing is happening, lots of adjustments and adopting to various things happen. As Dr. Vinod says, we are in a very dynamic situation. Changes are faster than we are able to imagine them. And then still keeping a positive approach, still keeping encouraging them for whatever they do, and keep moving them toward the goal. To me, a movement towards the goal which they've set out is more important than reaching it, because we as human beings always push the goals. If we find the goals coming nearer, we keep pushing it. The success is, for most people, becomes a question of greed and not question of need. So they keep pushing the goalpost further up and further up. The frustrations can sometimes creep in, but you have to tell them, okay, this done, small win, maybe this done, let's clap, let's be happy, take it further, repeat it. And once they get used to that cycle of planning themselves, I normally would always propose them to plan on a 5-year scale, not a quarter or a 1-year scale. In 5-year scale, you should be able to see yourself visually, that if you're sitting in front of yourself, how you would look physically, what would you be wearing, what would you be owning, what would you be representing, everything. Because I do believe in that old idiom that if you believe in what you're doing, the universe will conspire to make it happen. So that clarity of thought, clarity of goal is important. Some do it easier, some take time to do it. Everybody does it. It's a question of getting clear about it. So clearer plan, a clearer thought, hand holding them, not walking with them otherwise, hand holding them. They have to. For me, both these terms, mentoring and coaching, synonymous with Google Maps. You got to know where you are. You got to know where you want to go. You got to know where, how you want to go. Map can tell you this route, that route. Here, time is there. There, highway toll will be there. Here, traffic is there. Whatever. You can follow map, not follow map. You can't change the destination once decided. You can take a break, get down for coffee. He will again from that point, and he will not ask you why coffee. There's time for coffee. No, that's not the part of the mentoring or coaching, according to me. The person is allowed to do what he or she wants, but then you keep be with them, let them take those vacations, but keep getting them back. And if at any point of time they think we are overbearing, just a one button, the Google Map is closed, done with. So that kind of an approach, which is connected but not connected, is what I personally prefer taking.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that. So I have my next question for Darshan, sir. So, sir, what are some common misconceptions about achieving success and wealth, and how do you address them in your coachings?
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. So being on stage from last 15 years, I always seen that success, wealth, seen in a very generic way, because what success for me, maybe that definition doesn't apply to Vijay sir, doesn't apply. Everybody has their own specific way. And when general people see life coaching, okay, XYZ person becomes successful and this is success mantra or happiness mantra. So in the 15 years of journey, I have understood the biggest misconception is success. People see success in life coaching or motivation or inspiration industry as a generic terms, but it is not generic. It's a specific end of the day. I don't need to understand what is success. I need to understand what is success for me. I don't need to understand what is financial freedom. I need to understand what is financial freedom for me. I don't need to understand what is happiness or what is relationship. I need to understand what is happiness stands for me, what kind of a person I want to be in relationship, or what kind of people I want in my relationship. Nothing. I don't want to understand what is culture, but I want to understand what is culture for me. There are different identity blueprints, and success, wealth, happiness, relationship. It never seen as a generic way, but that's a misconception about life coaching. It always should be a specific and individual.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your views on here on that. So I have my next question for Vinod, sir. Sorry, sir, we lost you at the first question there.
Yeah, there was some internet issue. Suddenly, I was also waiting for it. Anyway,
Yeah, yes, sir. So moving on to your next question, VidyaMitra focuses on educational support, right? So how can life coaching techniques be integrated into academic environments to support students' personal growth and success?
right. So again, we have all heard about. Again, I truly appreciate Darshanji and Vijayji's opinion that everybody is unique and everybody's perspectives is also unique. So taking that as the unique dimension where we are having a common curriculum for 60 students inside one class and we are testing with the same question paper, but that's part of a larger structure which we can't easily change. Therefore, Vidyamitra wanted to integrate how personal goals can be achieved under the common umbrella. For example, with due respects to academia, we are not taught how to prepare a resume till I go for the first job. But I am taught area of rhombus, area of circle, what is that equilateral triangle, everything. But all these are important. Unless and until I am not able to apply it, I will think that is superficial. जैसा अभी दर्शन साहब ने बोला कि misconception, these are not required in my life. So a life coaching will always tell them, as Vijay sir said, identify a goal post and think what is the area which you want to navigate through. Then connect all these theoretical areas into practical aspects, but not building Eiffel Tower. What you want to do, it can be anything, even art, anything. So automatically all mathematical permutation combination comes, but in the form of art. So that is what Vidyamitra is trying to navigate through. They have to, there are lots of academic space which we always respect, but we miss on the personal touch. And being in academics, it is very difficult to manage both because you need pass percentage in your college, in your school. You need to manage the ego or the politics wherever it is. But we miss on the kids or we missed on the youth who is going to build the nation. So that is what Vidyamitra's aim is, to help them on the soft skills or on the personality development skills. But academics will be, that is why VidyaMitra, friend for Vidya. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing that. Now I have a next question for Vijay, sir. So, sir, what are some common challenges individuals face when seeking personal growth support, and how do you help them to overcome these issues?
Section is too small to outline everything they face in current times, I think. Everybody who has faced challenges knows they're endless and they're only increasing multifold. The first thing is this whole concept of mentor and coach, the formal words to me, have just come into being in last max of 2 decades. What was happening before that? These words didn't exist sometime before that, though people had problems and they were being solved and talked and everything was happening. What I would find and feel is those were the days when you had an uncle in the family, aunt in the family, a distant cousin who would be around you, supervising, seeing, whom you respected for whatever reason. And then you shared with him or her, and these things got sorted within a family network. The whole family was defined very differently. Over the period, the families have shrunk, and to an extent that it's almost become an individual. Forget a family word as such. So now people do not know where to go and talk what. Another thing I would personally find is everybody, including us, have also got used to seeing a flat screen in front of us which does not emote. So the younger generation today is very easily able to send a emoji of laughter, but the laughter doesn't come on the face at all because there's nobody seeing it. The best of the jokes you say, they would not laugh because it's much easier to send an emoji of ROFL or laughter and just feel nice about it. This is not necessarily only about laughter, but any human emotion I think is not being expressed, which is all getting imbibed into. That is why heart failures at 40 and knee pains at 50, because you are imbibing all those emotions which you are not able to express. So things have changed over a period. The peer pressures are very, very high. What I have done in 30 years, people want to do it in 3 years. I'm doing mentoring because I would allow you to do it in 15 years, but not in 3 years. Not because I don't want you to succeed, but my question is after 3 years, when you reach here, what are you going to do after that? Oh, I would go to Honolulu, lie down on the beach, legs up in air, 3 days, and you would not like doing what you're doing. Uh, Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know what word could be right, life has become longer. The medical science has allowed us to go 80, 90. I think it was fortunate at 60, 70 we thought we had finished it and we could pop it all, but now you're going up to 80, 90. You want to retire at 35, 40, and you don't know what you're going to do in those 40 years. You just don't know what to do in those 40 years. The critical situation I think even India is facing is in few years from now. Today we are the youngest country in the world in case of number of youth. And in few years from now, we may be the largest country with elders as the largest population here. Marriages are not happening, children are not coming in. So how are we going to face that situation? It's already working on individuals. So there's a fear of failure, there's lack of clarity, we procrastinate, we don't know whom to go and ask what, we've started doing negative talks, we lack support. The most critical decisions in life are not spoken amongst friends and family. Absolutely no, for God knows what reasons. Issues which could be life, health, money, anything. The family would be the last to come to know, if they ever come to know what is going on in your life. And we are overwhelmed with it. We are seeking perfectionism, which I personally think does not exist. Apple still comes with a new watch every year, though we call it as the best mobile phone or a watch. We lack resources, not only money. Money is the least important according to me, because if the need is right, money will come from somewhere. But all kind of resources, we've stopped reskilling ourselves, we've stopped reinventing anything into our own mind. We have some kind of an imposter syndrome happening around us. We don't know where to take out our external and internal pressures. So when we reach out to somebody to talk, it really takes long time for a mentor or a coach who is doing this to really reach to the problem which exists. The problem or the trigger is not where you think it is somewhere else, which takes time to realize and work upon. So all these things, then on top of it, the kind of changes we are going through, technology is changing faster than it could. For some years now, James Bond has stopped making movies because there's nothing called science fiction. Everything they had ever imagined has already happened. Now they can't even imagine what would happen. We're going beyond that. So there's just too much happening. What could be happening in 3, 4 generations? Today we are seeing it almost in half a generation. Today we don't even know what will happen in 6 months or 1 year from now, the way the whole things are going on. This is causing confusion. This is, of course, causing confusion to the youngsters who are just started on their career or have gone into their career or have gone into their business. There's so much of promotion of entrepreneurship which is happening, which is very good. We promote entrepreneurship, but it's like we teach them how to dive, we don't teach them how to swim. So they take a deep dive, are very happy taking a dive, and as soon as they reach the water, they realize it's now swimming time, which was not told to them, because by the time we start clapping entrepreneur, entrepreneur, and nothing happens after that. So all this is adding too much of a problem. Can we escape it all? No, we can't escape it all. Social media is a big problem, but can we escape it? No, we can't escape it. We got to live in this society. So we need to learn how to handle social media and not shun social media. That is not the answer. You got to accept everything that's happening around us. Youngsters, when I say youngsters, I think anybody younger than me, not any age bracket, are of course confused with all this. My very typical question when I talk to anybody is, do you know 5 years from now where you would be? And they don't know 5 months from now where they would be. They would blame parents, college, teachers for doing an education they didn't want to do. If I ask them that I'll allow you to go 5 years back, I'm God, I have divine powers, I'll go back the time clock, would you do it differently? They have no answer to that. Today, there is no parent on you, no pressure on you, no teacher on you. You still don't know 5 years from now what you will do. So, there has to be the thought process which has to come clear. Social media is the best thing that has happened, is having the worst results that could happen. How do you get over this? Like, it could look very odd to say, but according to me, pandemic was the best thing that ever happened. Very sad for people who died. My prayers for them. But it shook humanity so much, which no parent, no grandparent, no nobody could do. You have the money, but you can't get your bread. If you can't get your bread, sorry, you can't get your bread. Oxygen, which we thought is available freely all over, became the only cause of death. The learning in that period is so much. Particularly, I have been interacting with so many business people who lost lots of business in pandemic because what they were doing wasn't value add, it was going on. So as soon as they closed, there was nothing to open with. That excuse of pandemic lasted for few days and months. Now they can't even live that excuse because uh, what pandemic is already a question that is happening. But they couldn't recover from there. They would not invest in their business. They would not invest in themselves. You need to do. I've been asking entrepreneurs, do you do a course? Do you attend a conference or a workshop of your own technical domain? Do you know what's happening in your own business few years from now? No. You certainly caught unaware. Do you read newspapers? Yes, sir. No, there's a newspaper format. Do you read that? Do you know what's happening in the world of business? Don't read Economic Times, Financial Express. Read the business page of any newspaper that you can lay your hands on. They are not aware. Reading is going away. We are reading and sliding all together. So all these things do come up while talking. Takes time, takes patience on our behalf, and a very clear inclination for the person we're talking to hold on, don't jump. If you are in a peer pressure, you want to achieve it in 5 years, there's no magic. Nothing can happen. What you have to do in your lifetime, you've got to do in your lifetime. God gave you a long life. That's my mantra, really. So, too much is happening. The pace is too high. Some people, I mean, lately, for the last maybe 6 months, the two words which I give as a mantra to anybody is slow down. You're going too fast. Slow down. Finally, the destination will be death, but you, whatever pace you go, you'll reach it at the same time. Don't worry about it, but just slow down. People are going mad with the pace that is coming. So this is what I face all the time, and I feel sad, but I try my best to do what I can talking to them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your views. They were very relatable for everyone here. So now my next question to Darshan, sir. So, sir, how do you help individuals align their personal values and goals with their professional aspirations?
Okay. So I always believe, as I said before as well, success and fulfillment, these are the two key elements of our life. And I always believe success comes by science, and fulfillment, to get fulfillment in life, it's like a art. So I always a believer, and what I teach from my workshop from last 15 years is life is all about balance. It's all about holistic, and sometimes people, jungle up between two things. Number one, which kind of a life I'm supposed to live. I call it as a socialism. Second, what kind of a life I actually want to live. In socialism, okay, maybe I'm influenced by the market. Okay, कौन सा product market में चल रहा है, कौन सा business market में चल रहा है. Not focusing, okay, what I want to create in terms of product, service, or a business. Okay, what kind of relationships, what kind of things people are doing in relationship. Okay, what kind of expression element which I have. So it's all about the jungling between the life which I supposed to live, the life which I actually want to live. And I always say that life is all about balance. It's not only about the financial life, it's all about the balance of financial life, emotional life, and spiritual life. Spiritual life, I call it, is a self life. Okay, what are my ideologies? What are my values about product service? When it comes to a business, I always believe it's always a win win situation. Win for customer, win for my employees, and win for business owner as well. And I say win, I cannot get profit in my company, and giving a good salary to my employees, but not giving my product at relevant price and relevant quality to my customers. That's not a healthy business model. Or maybe, I can't be a entrepreneur where I'm not getting the money, my customer is getting relevant product and service, my employees are earning good, but I'm not earning. That's a myth. It's all about the balance of three of the things. When it comes to my personal life as well, I can't be a person, if I'm a good business owner, I should become a good father as well, a good boyfriend or good husband as well. Life is all about holistic. So when it comes to a person professional life, we always have a two approach, or approach and approach. And as Vijay say also said that we always choose a or approach, business or health or relationship, right? Okay, let me focus on business first. Okay, you bought the Mercedes. Now you have blood pressure. You cannot drive that Mercedes more than 100 speed, right? Or imagine a person, I give this example in my workshop कि एक इंसान रोड पे जा रहा था, Mercedes देखा, इंस्पायर हुआ, ठीक है, 5 साल मेहनत किया, ठीक है, मुझे कैसे भी करके वो मर्सिडीज चाहिए, ठीक है, वो 5 साल में और अप्रोच के साथ मर्सिडीज को अचीव किया, ठीक है, हेल्थ खराब किया, अब जिम में जा रहा है, ठीक है, और साइकिल चला रहा है, right? Slow down, as Vijay sir say that, I'm not running after, I don't want to die for my dreams, I want to live for my dreams. As simple as that. Okay, so it's when it comes to a personal and professional life in life coaching, I always believe in a holistic way, business and health and relationship, right? If I will reach 20 lakh rupees per month sacrificing my peace, relationship and health, okay, I'm happy to achieve 5 lakhs in next 2 years with my health, with a healthy relationship, with the self dignity, self esteem. Sometimes in the race of that, we lose our self dignity, self esteem, and so many things. So everything I see in my life, being as a coach or being as an individual, I see balance. It's go hand on hand. Sometimes, in this kind of panels and all that, okay, which are the 3 keys or 5 keys to get successful? Well, there are no 3 keys or 5 keys or 3 tips or 5 tips. All works together. सुनने में अच्छा लगता है कि अच्छा ये 3 सीक्रेट है, ये 5 सीक्रेट है. It sounds effective, but when it comes to life, is always a strategy. It is always a system. It is always a pattern. And then life can be very easy. So this can be a very non-fictional approach, which I see to balance personal and professional life both. Yeah.
So, sir, what do you advise to keep this balance? Like, what are your advices to have this?
See, it's a balance. When I say balance, when it comes to my financial life, if I want to, channelize, utilize, and monetize my skill or ability or potential, there is a system. Every business has a system. Every niche has a system. When it comes to my personal life, there is no system, there is no strategy, there is no goal. In a new generation language, in personal life, the vibe matters, the tribe matters, right? In a professional life, that IQ matters, right? I cannot just a dream of 10 lakh rupees per month just on a base of self confidence or self motivation or inspiration. No, Bill Gates agar ne kuch kiya hai, that doesn't apply to me. If you hang out with the 5 people, you will be if you hang out with the 5 millionaire, you will be the 6th one. ओके, सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगा, बट इट्स अ फिक्शनल. ठीक है, जो शायद मिलियनियर का भाई भी है, वो भी रोडपति बन चुका है आज की तारीख में. It's always a subjective things. So when I see my professional life in a subjective way, and when I see my personal life, on a base of, okay, what are my own individual values, who I am, what I'm seeking, what are my values and ideology about the life, when I combine this, that can be the easy way.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing that. Now, my question for Vinod, sir. So, sir, what inspired you to incorporate life coaching elements into your platform, and how has this impacted students and educators involved?
Right. So the trigger was simple. We as academicians have not been able to do what we intend to do. And it is not a systemic failure, it is a process failure. So we can't change everybody. So I thought, let me give my shot to enable the segment of students. So that is the trigger why VidyaMitra was started. Now, what is the impact that has created? Yes, I did a litmus test. For example, I identified one institution and I said I will do for all the students for 1 year. And we were trying to understand what is the pre and post difference. There were majorly 4 or 5 areas which was very positive, but as Vijay sir and Darshan ji said, they did it. It is students' contribution. We just opened it. That's all. One, they were able to identify their own strength and weakness at the moment. I still make it that it is not going to be their future, which will change. But right now they understood, okay, math is something which they need more time. Physics is one area where they can enhance. So this goal approach they started at a very young age, because there was a person to talk. As Vijay sir said, the most costliest asset is time and energy. Jo dega, I mean, that's it. So internationally, researchers have stated the biggest roadblock which we are going to face is a mental health. We are all going to have too many things. Western world is already facing it. Extreme, it's not the word depression, it is somewhere, as sir said, suppression. So I don't know what to say, when to say. So that was one stage where the students were taking themselves to a growth mindset. They started opening, yeah, abhi jo fail ho gaya hai, I understand, but this is not my end. This is a starting. Let me do some more. And this is the second enabler which realized the student. The third one was they were able to manage their time more efficiently, especially during examinations. So this we did a monitor testing. 3 hours was the examination for approximately 20 years down the line, any examination. Most people whom we gave a strategy or gave a platform to open up, they had calmness in their mind, and they were also accepting, I didn't prepare well, so I am okay with this mark, which means there is scope for improvement. So time management at a very young age we were able to understand. From the educator side, it was more interesting. Being in the academia, there was only one thing in my mind. I have got 45 minutes of class. I go to the class with a predefined mindset. Today I will teach this topic and come back. अगर बच्चों को मालूम हो गया या what is their state of mind, I am not bothered. Now we defined again a two group, control group and an experiment group, and we tried to do the same experiment which we did with the students. The control group teachers were able to understand and bifurcate the session. So just to give a glimpse, this 45 minutes was broken down into 3 parts. First 15 minutes they were engaging with the students. The next 15 minutes they were able to give one concept which the students can relate. The last 15 minutes they were able to contribute and conclude with what are the practical areas which these concepts can apply. So there was a journaling habit which was reintroduced in all, at least the experimental school which I did. So daily the students started writing 1 or 2 lines. What did they understand from today? And that is a huge reflection. So when we are meeting them, now this is like 1 year plus. So when I meet them, they say, Vinod, I am continuing this habit. So I believe this can help them in their longer journey, not only in academia. That is where I felt teachers are also have understood the sense of time purpose. Students themselves have understood they can manage themselves much better. I'm not using the word the stress has reduced. Stress, according to me, is all actions becoming important, which can, all actions which becoming urgent, that is only important. Abhi mujhe karna chahiye pura kaam, which is making me stress. But if I know the rank order of importance, I can postpone something later. So slowly, I think, as Vijay sir said, it is a duration of life. So there is no magical pill for stress. It's just calm down. I think it's a very beautiful word. CSO is not Chief Strategy Officer, it is Chief Slow Down Officer, which Amazon Jeff Boss has suggested. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing that. Now, my next question to Vijay, sir. So, sir, can you share in the successful story about your life coaching practice or highlight any impactful personal development?
You
Yes,
first make Darshan define success and then you ask me a success story. No, I can't tell you anything on that because success of mine or success of the person I am talking to, that's so very different.
I mean,
I,
any story that you have seen in your life, like you have helped an
as
individual, and how
I
are
mean,
they now?
I've committed doing what I do, doing my pro bono mentoring now for 13 years. So I met thousands of people on this. I guess everybody who stopped talking to me after some time became successful. That's why they stopped talking to me. That's okay. Uh, that's why let's leave the word success out of this. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not doing what I'm doing for success. So I can't tell you my successful practice that I've had on life coaching. No, that's not a thing. Well, I'm a very selfish man. I would do what I would do for feeling nice about it, that I'm able to add value to somebody else on a ground that he or she needs. It's not about money. Writing a check is maybe the easiest thing one can do otherwise. So it is not that. But otherwise, over a period, things have changed because of, as I told you in earlier time, that for me, numbers is a language. So I have got over a period in all my business mentoring, mostly got to speak to more women entrepreneurs because that is where the numbers, the accounts, the finance, the money, all that. As soon as they hear those words, they stop listening normally. They don't even listen after that. I recall Darshan and I met first time on an event which was 10x here, which happened at Bangalore. I was also speaking there, and I had that question when I got up that the whole crowd was very excited about 10x. And for me, though I say I'm a numbers person, what was intriguing for me is when I got up, I had to ask that, do you know what is this x for? In algebra, we have talks x is unknown, so you got to find your own x. So you're trying to do 10 of x, not knowing what your x is. You could be doing 10 times your fear, 10 times your dishonesty, 10 times your negligence. You do not, it's not, we all presume it is money, but it is not money. That 10x could be anything which you are nurturing over yourself in period. So that is where that day I said, sorry, I'll break my rule. It was, I normally would prefer speaking on 10, which is a number, but x is also a number in algebra. That's what you try and find out, and that is what this 10x mean, that anything you want to enhance, you can. So far as you know, what are you trying to enhance and why? So success is something very different. What I've learned over a period, most people, because I've dealt with more entrepreneurs, would come and say, I want to increase my turnover. My simple question and the most important question in life for anything is a why, which is what I would ask, that why do you want to increase your turnover? And most people don't have an answer because they hear Mukesh Ambani getting up and saying quarter on quarter so much increase, year on year so much increase. So I should also say year on year so much increase. Okay, I my test is that I would give you a test. Can you increase your profit and not your turnover? I would be a happy man if you can decrease your turnover but increase your profit. They are caught there. They don't understand. Most of them are solopreneurs, mompreneurs, smaller businesses, small teams. Kindly concentrate only on profit figure. Making profit in this country is not illegal. It's absolutely legal. So far as you're doing it the legal way and ethical way, kindly work on maximizing profit. Turnover has nothing to do with you. Last year, what money you made? I made so much money. Where is the money? I don't know. Who knows? I will ask my chartered accountant as if he knows where your money is. Numbers is something most people are wary about because the problem with numbers is a 4 is a 4, a 6 is a 6. It is not different. In all languages, it is still the same. So it is a little hard fact to accept, but any decision in business or personal life, according to me, and I think I can almost prove it, is normally only based on a number. We try avoiding that thought. I want to put my child to the best school. My answer would be put it in Doon school. No, no, sir, but that is too far. Yeah. So you have a definition where the school should be. In that definition, in that geography, look for a school. Don't use best school and all that. There's nothing called best school. You have a limitation that in this geography for this budget I can look for something else. It's always a number thing. People ignore numbers. Numbers are difficult to follow. People just like New Year resolutions, make resolutions which don't last. Make no plans. For planning business, you have lots of theoretical subjects. if you make your business model canvas, if you make your business plan. Now I even started suggesting after a few experiments that kindly make your SWOT, because I find some people make their SWOT and you sit down to discuss with them, and I would ask, what you're saying your weakness according to me is your strength. What you're saying your strength is according to me your weakness. We don't look at it from that perspective at all as to how the world will look at us. We're looking at us ourselves only all the time in a very cocoon manner. So over a period, what I find is another learning for me in life has been most, Darshan, excuse me for saying so, but most successful people, whatever is their own definition of success is, are not really qualified to do what they are doing. Mr. Vinod, please excuse me. I know you're from academics field, because success is about how you take opportunities in life. Education is about skilling yourself to handle those opportunities. We take pride in saying that chai wala hamara prime minister ban sakta hai, but I can talk about anybody and everybody so-called successful. He's not qualified for what he's doing. The qualification has nothing to do with it. Every qualification skills you to face the world. It skills you to take opportunity. All 50, 60 on a batch in a class don't do the same thing over a period of time. But this is, we are lost too much into education. I think it is slowly diluting now, which is good. We're becoming more practical, more skill based. So people don't look at numbers. People who look at numbers find their way ahead clearer. Another thing that I have personally found is people confuse, as Darshan was also saying, personal and professional. They think they are two different things. They are two different things, but then they are connected somewhere. They are not isolated two different things. Everybody would want to be Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, was a classmate of mine, but poor fellow, we all know what he went through, what happened to him. That's so very unfortunate, right? So that is why one has to be clearer on this. Work fatigue is something I found coming in people after 10, 12 years of doing whatever they are doing. I had attended this, though I know you're recording it and it'll go on YouTube, but I still like to give you that example. Somebody long time back for my children, when I was taking their career counseling, gave me an excellent example. I can use that name with a very positive mindset. Mr. Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket, the Bharat Ratna. As on today, not associated with cricket anymore. Why so? This example was given to me as Sachin was on his peak of career, saying every career will not last your lifetime. You will have to switch careers. So be prepared for the second career, otherwise that second half is very, very frustrating. Mr. Anil Kumble could do it. He got into commentary, expert comment, extraordinary language. Everybody who had a flair, who was from some field, could get into coaching, training, XYZ with cricket, not get out of cricket. Stop playing cricket, but there's so much more to do in cricket. Mr. Sachin Samov couldn't do it. So second career is something we don't look around. We don't just look at. And most people get that work fatigue after 10, 15 years of doing away. Every business is mundane after some time because we don't reskill, we don't try. The diversification is very odd meaning in us. The serial entrepreneur is a word I never understood. To me, if all my businesses fail, so I keep starting new one. Nowadays, I don't say I am a pro bono mentor. People don't like anything free. So I've also started saying I am a serial investor. And then suddenly you find people looking at you, and then I say, hold on, not money. I invest my time serially with different people, and it's far more valuable than the money. Try returning me back my time. If you want to use my time, go ahead and use it, but make use of it properly. So people are a bit confused. Most of them get work fatigue after 5, 10 years of their own business. They have not invested inside. They are fed up of their employees who have not learned because they have not learned. And anything that you do after a particular time can give you a work fatigue. So you've got to keep reinventing yourself and keep keeping it interesting for yourself. No external factor can do it for you. Absolutely no external factor can do it for you. Numbers is important, money is important, you work, career. I've been doing entrepreneurship classes in colleges here. I've been teaching entrepreneurship classes in a medical college at Bangalore. People wonder, what do you teach them for? They have a subject like that happening there, not for the medical student, but they also run huge programs for hospital management. And they say, why entrepreneurship? That is important for them to know, because you work for somebody or you run your own business, the answers are still the same. If you want to rise up into career, you've got to know how business works. It is your business or somebody else's business. You're not going to go up in career if you don't know how to run a business. The only difference is ownership and taking the risk and the rewards. Otherwise, if you want to become a CEO, you better know how to run a whole business without owning it, without being totally responsible for what happens to the results. So these subjects which are being promoted, Mr. Vinod would know, have become important. Handling money has become so very important. The excess of money is there. People don't know what to do with it. I find youngsters who are still having large amounts lying in bank. Either they will start spending it. One iPhone, one this, one that. Beyond that, it doesn't go. What do you do? Huge balances. A very typical question I would ask somebody I start talking to: do you know your bank balance this morning? And most of them don't know. Though they will say money is everything in life. If it is everything in life, forget your parents. Do you know the bank balance in your bank this morning? And they are not aware about it. So what we think is important, also we are not aware about it. So I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a success story. I'm giving an overall view of what I've been talking to various people. Success is for them to decide, but they have to be clear about it, that they want to increase turnover, they want to increase profit, they want to find a career, they want to find a career lasts long. I've been talking to people my age who are fed up doing their own business for 30, 40 years, but don't know what to do next because they never did anything else. So success is sometimes very relative, success is sometimes very timely. It comes for 15 minutes, 15 days, 15 months, and it disappears again. It doesn't last. Of course, the failures also don't last, success doesn't last. It's good to get to speak to people. Slowly, I'm finding people have started talking, particularly to unknown, unbiased people like us who do not evaluate them, who do not judge them. It is said in theory that never discuss business with friends and family because they are biased. As stupid a business as you may think of, they still say, very good, please do it. It's only a third person will tell you, it's okay, sleep over it, tomorrow morning get another idea, this is not working. So things are changing. People are opening up a bit. People are talking about it. People are doing few things about it, but I still see a long way. It could take, according to me, it could take couple of generations for the whole thing to happen. You are the only women here on this format right now, but I find some of this what's happening is we've been talking, the whole world has been talking of women empowerment for a few years now. All of us are very excited. But believe me, as a man, I still say this. It's time somebody starts training men how to live and handle empowered women, because we are not being empowered at all. For us, women is still our mother, our aunt, our grandmother, and all those things we have lived with. And suddenly you have one women here who is empowered. We can talk a subject I don't even understand. It does not gel well with me. Right? I can still say this on a public platform with all the humility. I'm a chartered accountant for 40 years. Even today, when I hear Mrs. Nirmala Sitaraman give a budget, half of it I don't understand. I still wonder how can she talk something which I don't understand. But that is the fact. This would take few more generations to change. But it is time the men are awakened also and made this change, because this dichotomy of empowering women but men not knowing what to do with empowered women is causing some social fabric rift which could hurt us for some time till it balances off. It would balance off, the nature would balance it off finally. So this is what has been happening and faced. People with clearer goals, clearer path, clearer numbers, reasonable support from the ecosystem, family, reskilling themselves, doing something, and having achievable goals or slightly beyond achievable goals, not lofty goals. Yeah, if you can dream, you can do it. It's fine to say, but just fine to say, I think. Nothing more it works into. According, that is what I said. Goalpost cannot be pushed. You have to have a goalpost, finish that game, go to the next game, play another game with another goalpost. Don't keep pushing the same game goalpost. So this is
Yeah.
what it is. Lots of work is happening. People are started talking about it. We, there's been a mental frustration happening. I'm in Bangalore. I see lots of youngsters here who I wonder may have nobody to go and talk to. The parents think person is working in Bangalore, great thing, good salary, XYZ. But the questions they face, they don't have anybody to talk to. Families
Yeah.
are not available around. So there is a big thing happening. I'm happy so many people are getting into talking to people. coaching, mentoring, business, non-business, lots of counseling is happening. I know of lots of friends who are doing free counseling, who going to colleges attached to them and all that. But it still is a long haul thing. So I
Yeah.
would not have any immediate success story to share. Right? Because success is very individual. It depends on their goalpost. I am happy that so many of us are getting into the field to support others for monetary reasons or non-monetary reasons. That is immaterial. So far as the support is there, it is relevant, and that's happening. That's a good thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that. We are running out of your time here, so I have my last question for Darshan, sir. So, sir, you have come into this career at a very young age, and I think you have learned very powerful lessons from this career. So, can you share a few insightful journeys in this life mentoring and life coaching?
So my journey starts. So my mom is a spiritual artist. She's a healer and she's a Reiki coach as well. So life transformation, motivation, this all starts from my home itself, right? And then the later on from 2012, 13, I'm 31 right now. So from 2012, 13, I learned from the best of the best, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, and some international trainers and mentors as an individual. So I used to be a very street smart sort of a topper, not that padaku wala topper, but street smart topper. So stage and life coaching मेरी लाइफ में 16 साल से है, but I before 2015 it was just a passion for me. It never used to be a purpose, right? So before 2015 I started my first company in 2012, and that first 3 years I used to be a typical entrepreneur, the way Vijay sir told, the youngsters and typical entrepreneur, only the money in the mind, and your 20 to 25 age, you are thinking about your dreams, luxury car, lifestyle, business class, and all that, and with the grace of Almighty, I have done decent in my own companies before 2015. But in 2015, when I met Tony Robbins in Australia, Melbourne, you know, uh, that one incident or few of the talk hits me. And in 2015, I was standing 9 crore of yearly turnover. I became 105 kg kid, right? And I used to work almost 300 days in a year like donkeys and monkeys, right? And then I asked myself, what the hell I'm doing in my life and what the hell I'm seeking in my life. Okay. The way Dr. Vinod said that, stress, anxiety, depression, and blah, blah sort of thing. The Almighty, I never faced, but coaching and training industry give me a very intellectual, viewing or window to see the life. When I say anxiety, for me, it's all about anxiety is equal to uncertainty into powerlessness. That means any uncertainty comes, you know, किसी का बिजनेस खराब हो गया, किसी का रिलेशनशिप खराब हो गया, उस अनसर्टेनिटी को फेस करने का मेरे पास कैलिबर, टेम्परामेंट, एबिलिटी और पोटेंशियल नहीं था. दैट्स व्हाई आई वेंट इनटू अ डिप्रेशन. What is the solution? To have that ability, skill, caliber, and temperament, that whenever the situation comes, I'm ready for that. I cannot, I cannot stop events and situations in my life, right? Okay, I cannot plan a right partner. Okay, maybe if I marry a right partner, maybe certain thing gonna happen. Maybe I started a business, maybe some industry things, or anything can happen in the world in the future as well. But coaching and training gave me a very intellectual view. And after 2015, I always say that कि stage को मैंने choose नहीं किया है, stage ने मेरे को choose किया है. And then it become passion to purpose, because I used to be a person, who used to have a money, but don't have a time to spend that money and don't have a quality of lifestyle. I took on me, I started understanding some NLP concepts, some neuroassociative concepts, in a more intellectual way. I made my choices, decisions, and patterns so concrete. I started thinking about in my business, okay, if somebody is joining my company, it is my responsibility, not only to give them a financial growth, but the personal growth and the satisfaction growth as well, the holistic growth. If some customer is coming in my community of business, I need to make sure that, I started taking responsibility in my life. And to end, because we are running at the the time zone, so my mentor says very beautiful thing, Tony Robbins. If you are not able to find your purpose, don't worry, just be integrate with yourself. Your purpose will find you one day. And then exactly happened with me as well, right? So that's and from my side.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time here. It was a wonderful session. I feel very lucky to be here and listen all of your talks. Thank you so much for this, and hope we again meet and we do again future nice sessions like this. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm very overwhelmed to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Darshan. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.